Gaming is yet another Pyro Claymore character. Overdone combination aside, Gaming has a very fun playstyle, cool animations, and really good damage potential. So let's do another one-shot that nobody asked for. Of course, this is going to be at level 1. But first, we need Gaming, which wasn't too hard. Ah!
Hey boss, the name's Gaming.
There he is!
When I started this challenge, I wasn't sure if it would be possible. That was, of course, until I noticed Gaming's burst scaling. Having a pretty comfortable 370% at level 1, Gaming's burst is actually pretty close to a level 1 low HP Hu Tao burst. So, let's see what we're working with. Gaming's first build has 1038 attack, 504 elemental mastery, 31% crit rate, and 199% crit damage. He has 61% pyro damage bonus. He will be using the Rain Slasher at Refinement 4. This weapon increases damage against enemies affected by Hydro or Electro. For artifacts, the Marachose's Hunter 4-piece set would be the obvious choice. But since I want to finish this fight in one hit, we wouldn't have time to build up the stacks. So I am going to use a 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flames instead. This set increases pyro damage bonus and pyro-related reactions. Of course, being level 1, we can't level any of Gaming's talents, and his Ascension passives aren't active. I also have no constellations. As you would guess, a level 1 Gaming didn't stand much of a chance against the Regisvine on his own. But that is what a team is for. For this team, I am going to start with Bennett, who gives us a huge boost to our team's damage and also activates Pyro Resonance. Bennett's build is pretty typical. He is using a Skyward Blade and is on 4-piece Noblesse. He is at C6 and his burst is Crown. Sucrose is also going to make an appearance. She is using a 1000 Floating Dreams, Nahida's signature weapon, and has 4-piece Viridescent Venomir to shred enemy resistances. She will also provide a lot of elemental mastery to the rest of the team. And finally, Mona. She once again plays a major role on this team. She is holding the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers and 4-piece Instructor set, which will boost EM of my allies when Mona triggers an elemental reaction. She also buffs with her burst and applies Hydro so Gaming will be able to vaporize. Her first constellation is unlocked, which buffs Hydro-related reactions. And now I know I'll get a comment about this, but Farina check. Still no Farina. As I expected. Keeping the rotation relatively simple, I use Bennett's skill and burst to break the Corolla.
Everybody stand back!
Then switch to Sucrose and use her skill to swirl Pyro. I use Sucrose's burst and switch to Mona and use her burst. Gaming hit a nice 85,000 burst damage here, but it wasn't a one-shot, so we need to try something else. I got some suggestions to use a Melt build. Melt is actually a little bit stronger than Vaporize. Since I recently built my Rosaria, I figured I would give it a try. Using the same Gaming build, I switched Mona with Rosaria. We hit 73,000. This is, however, lower than the Vaporize build. But keep in mind, the Rain Slasher gives us a bonus when attacking enemies affected by Hydro, not Cryo. Not to mention the Thrilling Tales boost and the buff from Mona's Omen. I might have been able to use the milled Flower Claymore, but it's not built, and I spent all my materials building the Rain Slasher, so yeah, I'm just a little low on materials. I also tried the Melt team with Charlotte to see how the Thrilling Tales would work. Charlotte is also on the Instructor set. With this build, we actually lost some more damage and only hit 66,000. Another weapon that I wanted to try is the Black Cliff Slasher. This weapon has a pretty nice crit damage substat. I am still using the 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flames artifact set, but I switched them around to get a slightly more balanced build. I also switched back to the Vaporize team here. Running the rotation, again, Gaming's burst hit for a pretty nice 82k. However, it was at this point that I realized that Mona wasn't actually triggering the instructor's set passive. This set will give allies 120 elemental mastery when the wearer triggers an elemental reaction. But because of my rotation, Mona wasn't triggering any elemental reactions, so the set bonus wasn't activating. I tried to fix this by messing around with the rotations a bit, but I decided that it might be easier to switch to another support artifact set. My first thought was Noblesse Oblige, but since Bennett is already using it, and you can't stack the buff, I need another option. But it doesn't take me long to find an alternative. The Tenacity of the Millilith 4-piece set increases attack and shield strength when an elemental skill hits an enemy. The buff is pretty short, but it should be more than long enough for what we need. Since the Rain Slasher and Vaporize performed the best so far, I switched Gaming back to the first build. This time, Gaming's burst hit for a nice 100,000, leaving just the tiniest bit of HP remaining, which could be easily dealt with by an elemental skill. But this technically isn't a one-shot. But we still have a few options, the simplest being using Gaming's skill first. In addition to the 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flame set bonus that boosts pyro-related reactions, it can also stack 50% of the 2-piece set bonus whenever a character uses their elemental skill. The effect can stack up to 3 times, but one should be more than enough, giving Gaming an additional 7.5% pyro damage bonus. With the same build, we fight the Regisvine once again, but it admittedly took a couple tries. I messed up and forgot to use his skill first several times. I also chose not to do the plunge attack after his skill. Gaming hit for a whopping 103,831 damage, successfully one-shotting the Cryo Regisvine at level 1. Well, that was fun. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. As always, this video took a really long time to make. So if you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you like Genshin meme builds, or generally nerdy things, you might like it here. Thank you again so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.